You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306. You know, it's a new year, and I don't even remember my own phone number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And, of course, as always, we are celebrating on Ron Siegel Radio. I don't get this one. National Drinking Straw Day. You know, I'm not a big straw drinker anyway, and now in California, I don't know, you have to paper straws or bamboo straws or some goofiness like that. But let's just go with chocolate-covered cherry day. Yeah, that looks. What is it? Was Queen Anne's? Wasn't it Queen Anne's that we used to have the chocolate-covered cherries for ages and ages? I don't know. After all, I guess that doesn't really go too well with the theme. Isn't it the beginning of January? Everyone's going to the gym, and you know, I got a gym membership, and they told me that, you know, I all I have to do is get a gym membership, and you know, I'm going to lose weight. They lied. They didn't tell me I had to show up as well. You know, in an hour on the treadmill, I sat there on the treadmill for an hour. It didn't do anything either. I guess you have to get up. No sitting on the treadmill doesn't do the job. Okay, let's move right along. Dow Jones Industrial Average now down 209 points. The S&P is down 35. The Nasdaq's down 134. Oil is down 258 a barrel. Okay, well, we're starting to hear some rumors about oil. I don't know if anybody wants to hear this one, but I just heard a story over the weekend with China opening up. Would not surprise some analysts. They're saying $125 per barrel. Ow! So think about that one when right now we're sitting at 77. Significant increase in the cost of a gallon of gasoline. But hey, let's take a look. Gallon of gasoline, $442.8 right here in the formerly Golden State. Under $4, huh, Josh? $397.9 there in Nevada. Jody's at $337. Brittany's at $294. And, well, you know, Brittany and Lori are not too far apart. $291 for Lori out there in Louisiana. $322 is the national average. I'm going to go check it out and just make sure that we get accurate numbers here, because it says Hawaii is $502. I'm going to have to go and check that. I don't believe them. So I might have to go just check that out. Speaking of checking out, I think that maybe the people at the New York Times have checked out. Like, checking out of reality. Did you see the article in the Times, in the New York Times? You can't make this stuff up. Short people are better for the planet. I don't know if anyway, did you see that one, Josh? Short people are better for the planet. So if you're, and their assumption here is if you're tall, you need to mate with a short person. Now, I don't know what that does, because my wife is relatively short. I'm not very tall, and 2 of my 3 sons are taller than me. So I don't, you know, one more thing that the New York Times is a little bit off on, but their comment is it's better for global warming to have short people.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's the New York Times, so we don't want to really, we don't believe much of what they have to say, and I think it's probably for good cause that we just ignore what the New York Times has to say. Unbelievable. So why were the markets doing so well this morning? Well, here's the issue. It looks like over in Germany, their inflation is a little bit more in check than what they might have been thinking it was going to do. So that's good news right there in Germany. That might let us believe that maybe we've got some controls getting in on inflation right now. If you're a Tesla owner, the inflation in their stock is certainly diminishing because Tesla stock has been dropping dramatically. And if you are one of those folks like me who does not believe one word that Anthony Fauci has to say, the next release from Twitter is going to be all about Fauci, apparently. So that'll be fascinating to see what's going on and what the link is between Fauci and social media.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, well, some of us have been saying this right along. So it's not like it's a new issue with Fauci that you just anytime a scientist tells you that you can't question something, the question becomes, are you a real scientist? And I'm going to submit maybe Fauci's not a real scientist. Maybe he's kind of like Joe Biden, just in it for the money. I'm going to throw that out there because he seems to be proving that. And even though he's not in office or not there at NIA or all those different things anymore, I think we're going to be feeling the Fauci effects for a long, long time. And I found it rather, disheartening. I'm not a big believer in the vaccines. I don't think there's been enough proof on the vaccines. I did hear a commercial yesterday. I thought it was fascinating. So one of these great commercials that comes out, they're talking about Paxlovid. And I don't know if you've taken this Paxlovid or not, but Paxlovid is Pfizer's drug that's supposed to take care of COVID. Well, I found it very fascinating because in this article or the commercial, they're talking about there are drugs now that you don't have to go in the hospital if you get COVID. And they're drugs that stop the virus from spreading. Ivermectin. And I just was fascinated that they would finally come out with that because some of us have been saying this right along. I mean, I will admit that I do have a supply of ivermectin at my house. I figured that, something, I know that the government's going to tell us what they want to tell us, but my family was not going to go down without a fight. And there was a lot of studies from doctors, especially a whole group in Imperial County that said ivermectin was the solution to this very early on. But I found it fascinating that they made these comments. But back to my disheartening story. And I think that if you are a sports fan, and I am, you might have found the game last night a bit scary, a bit fearful. I understand what went on, but if you watch that, Damar Hamlin, it didn't look like the hardest hit in the world. But timed properly, it does not need to be a hard hit. And I found it very disheartening, the folks on some of the social media channels blaming it on the COVID vaccine. Now, again, I am not a fan of the vaccines, but I think the timing there could have had a little more class. Just throw that out there. Young man is fighting for his life, and you've got these people bringing that into it. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. Put it in the comments there. Was it StreamYard.com/Facebook? I think it is. StreamYard.com/Facebook. Put your comments in. Let me know what your thoughts are. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, what to expect from the housing market in 2023. Financial fundamentals for first-time homebuyers. 23 credit score stats you should know heading into 2023 and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. Yeah, that's Mortgage Minute today, being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. Easy for me to say. Brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. S&P 500 now down 29.6. The 10-year Treasury, if my computer screen will update for me, is down 5 basis points, 3.78. Mortgage-backed securities are up 13 basis points, coming way back from their earlier gains. So we'll watch that one, find out what's going on in the marketplace. And every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, and timely interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions. Again, nationwide. So these are the actual numbers that were locked in on Friday. Yes, it was a shortened day, but these were the last numbers from last year. 30 years, 6.518. That's the conforming loan. The jumbo 6.707. FHA 6.418, VA 6.25, USDA 6.179. And as I mention all the time, the best one is the VA loan for those that actually earn it. So we kind of like that one there, but we did see the rates increasing a little bit over the holiday period. We started the week Tuesday, the 27th. We were at 6.485, and ended the week at 6.518 on the 30-year conforming. So again, those are just numbers that you have to be real careful when you're dealing with numbers over holidays like that. And I'll explain that in a minute. But why are the markets doing what they're doing? Well, what is moving the markets? Again, Germany released their inflation reading for December, which came in much lower than expectations. Inflation in Europe is moderating, the same as the U.S., and they are starting to feel the effects of tightening and supply chain easing, but they are a bit behind us. As a result, European yields are lower, and so are ours in sympathy. Additionally, there was a recession warning from the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. IMF head Kristalina Georgieva said that 2023 will be a, quote, tougher, unquote, year than last year. She says that they expect a third of the world's economy to be in recession, and that even for countries that are not in a recession, it would feel like a recession for hundreds of millions of people. They did not include the U.S. in a recession, although they said it was on the verge. We believe we're going to head there. We've told you that, if we're not already there. And we'll likely get much more than a third of the globe in recession if that's the case, as the U.S. makes up a huge part of the global GDP. This news is helping bonds as things slow down when the globe is in a recession and rates do come down generally. Oil prices hovering around $80 a barrel, but in 2022, China purchased the least amount of oil since 1990. If they get fully reopened and begin purchasing a more normal amount of oil, according to Peter Bookvar, he believes it may push prices back to $120 to $125 per barrel on the conservative side, which would be not good for inflation. CoreLogic Home Price Index. CoreLogic released their Home Price Index report showing that home prices declined by 0.2% in November and are up 8.6% year over year, which is a decline from 10.1%. According to CoreLogic, home prices have only declined 1.8% from their peak, even among 7% mortgage rates, and are all at the talk of affordability. So think about that. Interest goes up double, and interest rate and the home values that people are all worried about only dropped 1.8%. Okay, so that's not a huge number right there. CoreLogic forecasts home prices will decline 0.1% in December and rise almost 3% in the year going forward. This is important, although we are seeing some slightly negative readings month to month. They still forecast appreciation over the next year. We're kind of seeing the same things. Remember that 3% appreciation is still meaningful for wealth creation. If someone bought a $400,000 home, puts 10% down, that means their gain would be $12,000 in appreciation over the next year. Still some very, very significant numbers. And I wanted to get back. I didn't want to get away from this. Why do I tell you that you have to be real careful during holiday periods of volatility in markets? So we saw the interest rates increase last week. Well, whenever the market moves a little bit, when there's not a lot of buying out there, when there's not a lot of not buying, volume, I guess is the right term. When volume is low, the swings can be very exaggerated. So what might be a very small issue in a normal market when we've got normal volume, it does get exaggerated when the volume is diminished while people are on vacation. So as the markets start getting their volume back up this week, we'll start seeing a little bit more normalcy in the swings of the market. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial when you're ready for that next home loan. Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Let's take a look a little bit real-time real estate, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. What are your goals in the housing market this year? What are you planning on doing? Have you started thinking about it? If buying or selling a home is part of your dreams for 2023, it is essential for you to understand today's housing market, define your goals, and work with industry experts to bring your homeownership vision for the new year into focus. In the last year, high inflation had a big impact on the economy, the housing market, and likely your wallet as well. That's why it's critical to have a clear understanding of not just the market today, but also what you want out of it when you buy or sell a home. Danielle Hale, chief economist at Realtor.com, explains, the key to making a good decision in this challenging housing market is to be laser focused on what you need now and in the years ahead so that you can stay in your home long enough that buying is a sound financial decision, unquote. Here are a few questions you can start thinking through as you fine-tune your goals for 2023. Number one, what's motivating you? You're dreaming about making a move for a reason. What is it? No matter what's happening in the market, there are still many compelling reasons to buy a home today. Your needs may have changed in a way your current house cannot address, or you could be ready to step into home ownership for the first time and have a place that's truly your own. Use what's motivating you as a guidepost in partnership with an expert advisor to help make sure your move will give you a lasting sense of accomplishment. Number two, what does your next home look like? You know you want to move, but how would you describe your dream home? The available supply of homes for sale has grown, and that could mean more options to choose from when you buy. Just be sure to keep your budget in mind and work with a trusted real estate professional to balance your wants and your needs. The better you understand what's essential and where you can be flexible, the easier it can be to find the home that's right for you. Hey, and don't forget, get a copy of our free home buyer's guide, rsrhbg.com, rsrhbg.com. Get a free copy of that buyer's guide. We release them every quarter. They're brand new for the quarter. So all you have to do is go to rsrhbg.com. Number three, how ready are you to buy? Getting clear on your budget and savings is essential before you get too far into the process. Working with a local agent and a lender early is the best way to make sure you're in a good position to buy. This could include planning how much to save for a down payment, getting pre-approved for a home loan or pre-underwritten, and assessing your current home equity. If your move involves selling your existing house, a professional will guide you through every step of the process. Buying or selling? rsrhsg.com. Get the seller's guide, rsrhsg.com. Buying or selling a home is a big process that takes expertise to navigate. If that feels a bit overwhelming, you are not alone. According to a recent Harris Poll survey, 1 in 5 respondents see a lack of information or knowledge about the home buying process as a barrier from owning a home. Don't let uncertainty hold you back from your goals this year. A trusted expert can bridge that gap, and give you the best advice on information about today's market. Let's chat. Give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, and let's set up a time to have a chat. You can go to rsrhbg.com. You get the guide, and that's going to help you understand some aspects. Go to rsrhomescout.com. Up in the upper right corner, there's a section for you to create your own account. You do that, and then you can start putting in the areas you want to live in, and it's going to give you an idea of what the market is in that area. Are there properties available? What meets your needs? You can save your searches right there as well, and there's no advertising, no obligation. You're not going to get bothered by anybody. All you do is set it up. But give me a call at 800-306-1990, and let's have a chat. It's amazing how many folks I chat with that think that they've got to wait 3, 6, 12 months to buy a house, and they find out after the conversation that they already qualify, but they're paying somebody else's mortgage. That's called rent. And they could be out there shopping with one of the area trusted professionals. That's the Real-Time Real Estate segment. Again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, financial fundamentals for first-time homebuyers. We'll chat about that. And 23 credit score stats you should know heading into 2023 and more. You can reach me anytime. Our Alfair number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. Let's take a look. I think we're going to look at the financial fundamentals for first-time homebuyers. Let's take a look at them. Are you preparing or prepping to buy your first home? If so, one of the steps you should take early on is making sure you're financially ready for your purchase. Here are just a few of the financial fundamentals you'll need to discuss or focus on as you set out to buy a home. Number one, build your credit. Creditsanitizer.com. Go there, get a free credit report audit. We're not going to do that forever, but right now we're doing a free credit report audit. Creditsanitizer.com. So build your credit. Your credit is one element that helps determine which home loan you'll qualify for. It also impacts your mortgage interest rate. While there are many factors that go into your mortgage application, a higher credit score could lead to a lower monthly payment in the long run. So how do you make sure your credit is in the best possible shape when it's time to buy? A recent article from NerdWallet lists a few tips you can use as you work to build and strengthen your credit. They include tracking your credit, cleanall3.com, cleanall3, the numeral 3, cleanall3.com. Tracking your credit and disputing any errors that show up on your report. Paying your bills on time and properly. RSRCCpayment.com. RSRCCpayment.com. That'll show you how to pay your bills properly and also make sure you're always on time. Keeping your credit card balances low, paying more than your minimum monthly balance when you're able to. Automate your savings for your house fund. You might also be wondering how you can achieve your down payment savings goals. Bankrate provides buyers with a number of tips to help you save, including searching for down payment assistance programs. Last I heard, there's about 352 down payment assistance programs in the state of California. And ways you can save more and faster. As the article says, quote, one of the best ways to save for anything, including a down payment, is to set it and forget it. If you receive a regular paycheck, ask your employer to direct a portion of that payment into a savings account. If you're a freelance worker or independent contractor, set up a recurring transfer from a checking account to a savings account to establish the routine, unquote. Also, go to rsrhomescout.com, rsrhomescout.com. There's a budgeting tool in there for you as well. Get pre-approved or pre-underwritten as you prepare for your purchase. You'll also need to have a good grasp on your budget and how much you'll be able to borrow for your home. That's where the pre-approval process comes in. Pre-approval from a lender, that's us, lets you know how much money you can borrow for your home and loan. And having that knowledge plus an understanding of your savings can help you decide on your target price range for a house. From there, you can start browsing for houses online, rsrhomescout.com, and see what's available in your area and that general price point. This can help you really understand your options so you can start to picture your future home. For customized advice, build a team of professionals. That's the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Finally, the best way to make you prepared for your purchase is to connect with trusted real estate professionals. Having expert advisors in the industry will help you make strong decisions throughout the home buying process based on your specific goals, finances, and situation. They know the market and can guide you toward the home of your dreams. Bottom line, if you're ready to get the home buying process started, give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. If you have any friends, family, or coworkers looking to buy, sell, or borrow on real estate, can I count on you to have them give me a call to make that introduction? All kinds of free stuff that we're giving away, and I've touched on a few of them today, but let's give away some more free stuff. I like giving away the free stuff. So we told you about the Home Buyers Guide, rsrhbg.com, rsrhbg.com. We told you about the Home Sellers Guide, rsrhsg.com. Pay your credit card bills the right way, rsrccpayment.com, rsrccpayment.com. Don't make the credit mistakes. rsrcreditmistakes.com, rsrcreditmistakes.com. Don't make those mistakes. I know that you're gonna in many instances because you don't go and grab the report. It's free. Got to tell me where to send it, but the report itself is free. rsrcreditmistakes.com. And we've got a few tips. Not only the rsrccpayment.com, that's tips for you, but rsrcredittips.com, rsrcredittips.com. And finally, we did a workshop, rsrfthbworkshop.com. First-time homebuyer, that's what FTHB is. So rsrfthbworkshop.com, rsrfthbworkshop.com. And in about the first half of our show, we've given away, 10 different items for you? You got to be listening, though, because we're always coming out with new things to give away and new educational pieces. That's what we're here for. So I should share, we've been doing the show since 2010. And it's not a money-making event for us, I promise you. What it is, though, it's an educational opportunity. I like to give back. And as I've shared many times, the first family I helped get a home loan was back in 1983. And don't laugh at me because I know some of you were not even born then. But we've had the opportunity of helping a lot of families. And one of the things we've been able to do in all that time is we've been able to go through, and in a lot of cases, we've been able to go through and say, you know something, here's some of the tools that we've used over these years to try and, or some of the questions we get over the years in trying to help people to, accomplish their real estate goals, accomplish what they're trying to accomplish. And we've done a lot of these different shows so that we actually put a lot of these into workshops. And we're starting to come out with all these different workshops. Make sure you're watching us on socials. Go to Ron Siegel Radio on Facebook. Ron Siegel Radio on Facebook. And we put out a lot of these different workshops that we've done. And we're going to put out even more of them in the coming weeks and months, just because I think it's important right now. There's a lot of people out there that are getting misconceptions. I've heard so many folks that are saying, especially young people, and it's not your fault if you are young. I mean, I won't hold that against you. But most of the time, young people only remember one recession. And that was the recession in 2008, 9, 10, when real estate caused the recession. We're not in that place right now. Real estate is not causing any kind of a recession. When you look at it and say, I think I told you earlier, CoreLogic said that from the peak, real estate values are down 1.8%. Last year, I think we're going to find out that real estate was up over 10% for the year of 2022. That's double or almost triple the average, the normal average of what real estate goes up in any given year. And we're going to find that was the case again. In fact, I'm going to look right now and see if I can get a report for Orange County and see what the numbers look like for the year. I'm not sure it's out yet because obviously we are still early on in the year. But the bottom line is that real estate values have been going up. And when CoreLogic says, okay, well, they're down 1.8% from the peak, that's probably sometime in July of last year. But does that mean last year was down in value? No, it was up. Does that mean that we're going to be down in value in 2023? Well, I'm looking at a report right now that's showing, and this comes from, I believe they get this from Black Knight, is where this data comes from, is showing that real estate values over the next 5 years is projected to increase 4.16 over next year and 36.33% combined over the next 5 years. So for Orange County, 4.16. That's a heck of a appreciation. So I hear these folks that are saying, well, Ron, I'm going to wait until prices come down until I go buy a new house. Well, what is your thought process? What is your catalyst for why are property prices going to come down? Well, interest rates are high. Yeah, they are. Interest rates will probably come down this year. They generally do during a recession. So now what is your catalyst for property values coming down? Remember, the key to all of these things is supply and demand. And the fact that there's not a lot of supply on the market, well, that kind of coincides with the fact that there's not a lot of demand because of interest rates being up. So the interest rates going up diminished the demand. Interest rates going up also diminished the supply. Why? Because there's a lot of folks out there that are saying, I've got a 3 or 3.5% loan. Why would I want to go and change that in? Why would I want to get a new loan that's going to cost me more money? Well, if you go to rsrnodebt.com, rsrnodebt.com, you'll find out why. Because when you consolidate your debt, I just shared this with somebody over the weekend. I had breakfast Saturday morning with a gentleman, and he and I were talking about this. He said, I've got a lot of people that are telling me that they've got a 3% first mortgage, and they don't want to trade that in because it's 3%. And I said, who cares? What's important is your blended household interest rate. And I got this blank stare. What is a blended household interest rate? We're going to talk about it when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. We're going to also give you 23 credit score stats you should know heading into 2023 and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at RonIsMyLender.com. That's RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey friends, do you dream of mortgage-free home ownership? Are you aware that even if you own your home free and clear, it could still be costing you thousands per year? The Siegel Lending Team can help you generate tax-free income, accumulate family wealth, and maintain ownership of your home. By simply emailing your most recent mortgage statement, you'll receive a no-obligation real estate plan. Learn more by calling 1-800-306-1990 or email me your recent mortgage statement to PEAR@RonSiegelRadio.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at RonSiegelRadio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report and it is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has the solutions. 23 credit score stats you should know heading into 2023. 2023 is here. And with the new year, we're a little more focused on watching our budgets more carefully, paying off debt, and improving our credit scores. So let's chat about legal, ethical, and highly effective credit solutions for 2023. Let's got to understand the credit world before you can even do that. Number one, as of this year, the average U.S. FICO score was 716. So remember, and I said FICO score, not FACO score, not Vantage score, not credit. FICO credit score was 716. Approximately 26 million U.S. adults, or about 1 in 10, are credit invisible, which means they lack a credit history. Of those, around 19 million adults do not have a credit score at all. The breakdown of average credit scores by age group is 18 to 23, 674, 24 to 39, 680. 40 to 55, 699, 56 to 74, 736, 75 and over, 758. And if we look at it by generation, Gen Z, 674. Millennials, they're at 680. Generation X, 699. Boomers, 736. Silent generation, 758. There are even clear patterns to credit scoring based on borrower income, 30,000 or less, 590. 30,000 to 49,999. 643, 50,000 to 75,000, 737. Number 7, to qualify for a FICO score, you must have at least one credit account, like a credit card or a car loan that's been open for at least 6 months, and at least one credit line or account that's been reporting to credit bureaus for at least 6 months. Number 8, FICO scores range from 300 to 850. Number 9, anything above 800 is considered an exceptional credit score. Number 10, 850 is a perfect score. Never seen one. 834 is the best I've ever seen. Number 11, yet only 22% of U.S. adults have a credit score of even 800 or more. Anything below 580 is considered a poor credit score. 581 to 669 is fair credit, and between 670 and 739 is good credit. Number 13, Americans have seen steadily improving credit scores. In fact, from 2010 to 2020, the average FICO score increased by 24 points. Education, number 14 in real numbers. In 2010, the U.S. average FICO score was just 687, but today it's 711. Number 15, we're definitely not checking our credit scores enough. In fact, 54% of U.S. adults admit to never checking their credit scores. It's easy. Cleanall3.com, cleanall3.com. Number 16, only 21% of those polled said they check their credit score on a monthly basis. I check mine every day. Number 17, I'm a little analytical, though, because I'm sharing data that I learned with you. Number 17, another study revealed that only 33% of adults had checked their scores within the past year. Number 18, only 11.1% of U.S. adults with a credit score have a FICO between 300 and 549. So if you check your score, maybe you're more cognizant of what's going on with it. Number 19, why is it important to track and report credit history and usage? Data shows that about 61% of people with low or poor credit scores will miss payments and fall behind on their loans. Number 20, however, a solid 59.2% of U.S. adults have FICO scores in the range between 700 and 850. Number 21, residents of Minnesota have the highest average score of any state, 739. Mississippians have the lowest average credit at 675. Number 22, as a general guideline, here's the absolute minimum credit score required to buy a home with these loan programs. Conventional, pretty much 620. There's always exceptions to everything. VA loan, 580. FHA with 3.5% down, 580. FHA loan with 10% down, 500. Number 23, want help boosting your score? Give us a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, and get a copy of your credit report, creditsanitizer.com. You can get signed up right there for the free credit audit. When you go in there, fill out the form right there. We'll ping you back with a link to get the specific report that we need. It will cost you a whopping $1. You're going to then send us back the credentials for that so we can run it through the system and create the multi-page credit audit for you. And we'll give you some ideas as to what you can do to improve easy for me to say, improve your scores. So creditsanitizer.com, creditsanitizer.com. Before the break, I was having a little chat with you, and we were talking about a blended household interest rate. And I don't know if I saved the data that I was using over the weekend with the gentleman. Let me see if I've got it here because, yeah, here we go. So we ran this little scenario, and, the numbers that we used, we look at what is a blended household interest rate. And this one here, I used several. I had, I think, 7 different trade lines or 7 open accounts for this family. They had a mortgage in the amount of $450,000 at 3%. They had 2 car loans. One was $25,000 at 6.99. One was $35,000 at 5.99. They had a student loan, $40,000 at 7%. They had 3 credit cards, one at $20,000, 19.99 loan. They had a credit card at $25,000 at 24.99, and a $30,000 credit card at 29.99. So what that's telling us right there is their blended household interest rate, even though they've got a 3% interest rate on their home loan, when you weight these things and blend them all together, their real interest rate is 6.302 in this scenario. Now, you might look at it and say, okay, what is this market? Where can I get a loan in this market? Am I going to beat 6.302? Maybe. Now, with those credit card balances and those student loan balances, maybe you're not going to beat that. But does it matter? That's the big question mark that comes into people. Does it matter? Why, Ron, why would you say it doesn't matter? Well, here's the issue. What you really want to be looking at is, what is your payment? Because interest rates are going to drop if we follow history. There's no guarantees. But if history repeats itself, and it usually does, interest rates should drop during a recession. Mortgage rates, maybe not. And I just saw an article today, and I haven't verified it on my own, that no recession has ever ended without the Federal Reserve dropping the discount rate as well. So you know that the Federal Reserve does not drive mortgage rates. That's driven by mortgage-backed securities. But here's the issue. So we've got this blended household interest rate of 6.302. When you've got all this debt that is basically short-term debt, if we'll put all that debt into a new loan and I used with this particular family, I used a 6.5% interest rate. Just educational. I'm not offering you anything. I'm just doing this for educational purposes. Yes, I know we've got to get an APR in there if I'm going to offer it to you. I'm just using for education. This family was going to save about, $800 a month. $800 a month on their household debt service. Now, if we took that $800 a month and applied that to the principal of the new loan, they're going to pay it off significantly quicker than the 30-year loan that they're already in. That has, in this particular case, they were in a 30-year loan that they've been in that loan for about a little over a year. So they've got 29 years to pay it off. And I'm just doing it off the top of my head. I think it was like with the new loan, applying the principal, it was going to be under 20 years to pay it off. Now, even though we're talking for this particular family at a 6.5 interest rate, if it was possible to do, well, then the next step of it was going to be, Ron, what happens if we if interest rates go down? Well, here's the beauty of this, and we call this the RSR two-step. And I haven't got it all set up yet, so I don't have a landing page for you to go and get a copy of it. But the RSR two-step basically says, get all of this done right now. Get an interest rate that you can that your lender, our team, can set this up for you. You're not worried about the interest rate. What you're worried about is getting the plan in place. Strategy beats rate always. Strategy beats rate always. So we want to get an interest rate that's going to cover the majority of your closing costs, if not all of them. Then what we're going to do, and right now, because we're paying off all this debt, this is called a cash out refi. Cash out refis have what's called a loan level price adjustment, means the interest rates start out higher, which is okay because we're not planning on keeping this loan more than 6 to 12 months. What's going to end up happening is we're going to look at 6 to 12 months down the road, and we're going to restructure it again. And we're going to look and say, okay, now with our credit cards paid off, with our auto loans paid off, with our student loans paid off, that means our debt to income ratio is better. Our credit score should improve if you don't run up the credit card bills again. But our credit scores should improve, and we're not going to have the cash out issue. So you're going to get the best loan possible. That's the whole idea of this. You get the best loan possible, taking out a rate and term refi as opposed to a cash out refi, by definition, inherently has a better rate. So again, I'm just educating you. That's 6.5. Maybe it goes to 5.5. I don't know. I'm not offering it to you. I'm just using hypothetical numbers, right? So you're going to get it's just for educating to say that's the way the two-step works. You say, well, Ron, you're in the lending business. It helps you. Yes, but more importantly, it helps you. That's why we do this. That's why we've been doing the show since 2010. And that's why I always ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean for engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.